You did talk about it a little bit, but within the Black community, how do you guys feel to break the stigma on mental health, especially surrounding Black males? Sharon, you haven't said anything. Do you wanna?
I don't know. I just feel like if people within us can actually be more open and like communicative, it would actually help because yeah, like as he was saying, obviously like back in Africa, like some of these things have been like regarded weirdly, even like, you know, people's sexualities, religion, it goes down to like everything basically. And like those that are like on the elderly side, they would consider it as wrong, consider you as like, you know, being possessed. It could be literally anything. So it's like if people could actually, you know, I feel like if they could speak more about it, learn more about it, because like stuff they don't know about, stuff that, you know, it's just things that they assume about, they don't have full understanding about, they don't really get it. They wouldn't see it the same way you'd see it. They wouldn't understand it the same way you'd understand it. Say, for instance, like I don't know. It's a lot of things that we use as examples because it even goes down to like common education, like picking what you want to do career wise. Like it actually goes down to everything. But I feel like if they could, you know, be more educated on it and like there's like improvement on communication between us and those around us, it would, you know, actually help way more than it is now.
Can I
Yeah,
just sorry.
yeah, right.
Sorry, Aiah. I wanted to jump in before you know, the two gentlemen, you know, here speak, because obviously, you know, you need to give your experiences and your views being Black men. But just from a sort of professional perspective, I want to kind of support what Sharon is saying there, because what I've noticed from doing my work, in particularly with Black students, and you know, I although I'm Asian, you know, this is very, very similar types of issues, and I mean, my parents were also born in Kenya, so I have that sort of link, you know, there as well with Black community. But what, you know, a few things that Sharon mentioned is so true. We have to first understand what exactly is the issue in particular with the Black community. And Sharon mentioned a few things like communication. I've noticed that a lot of parents of students are not able to have open conversations, and also be able to listen, you know, really hear what's going on for their child. When their, you know, child is struggling, there can be a dismissive attitude, but it's not an intentional, you know, everybody comes with a good intention, so it's not necessarily, you know, a negative intention, but it's the culture, you know, it's the culture. And I can relate in ways, because I come from South Asian background. It's also the same with that generation. You know, you get on and you graft really hard, right? And you just get on with life. and you go to school, you get an education, you work hard, and that's it, you know. And what comes with that is the lack of communication and expectation of parents on you know, on their children on particular career choices, because that's sort of what's more acceptable in their view culturally. Many students I've worked with from the Black community, they're not doing the courses that they've not done the courses that they want to. They're doing the courses that the parents want to, and that impacts mental health because they're not being themselves. Anyone who's not being themselves is going to struggle mentally, right? If you're not in your own right environment, if you're not expressing who you are, if you're not working towards if you're not working with your inherent nature, you are going to struggle mentally. And if you're struggling mentally, you're going to struggle, you know, with your relationships and financially and, you know, everything else. And then you mentioned something else, Sharon, about possession. That's something massive. It's massive, okay, in the Black community. Is that, you know, and again, it comes in culture, and it has its place. You know, the Black arts, religion, faith. You know, just pray and it will get better. It will go. You know, there's nothing wrong with you. They're just mad. It's, you know, a very dismissive attitude, and you just need to pray, or you need to, you know, do some sort of ceremony or ritual, or, you know, whatever it is. So religion and spirituality has its place. But then when you actually take clinical issues, clinical mental health issues, and it gets dismissed in the name of religion or spirituality, that can cause massive, you know, mental health issues, and the lack of getting the help, the real help, the mental help that someone may need. And then it also destroys someone's faith, because faith and spirituality has a place. But, you know, it's, you know, I use this example of, okay, you know, faith and spirituality and God is there, but we still need to eat, right? I still need to go take a shower, right? I need to take care of my body, right? So if I need to take care of my body, and God isn't just gonna, right, just bless me with not feeling hungry that day, I need to eat. So in the same way, we need to take care of our mind. And I think this is very pertinent in the Black community, of this view of possession, and there's nothing wrong with you, you just need to pray it away. That, you know, that can be there in the faithful families. It's just a misapplication of spirituality and a misunderstanding. And I think unfortunately, I think it's going to be the job of this generation to educate your parents, you know, and your family members. And you know, it might be a struggle. It might be a struggle because people get set in their ways. But it's important for you to know that if you're struggling mentally, you don't have to, you know, lose your faith or battle with the people around you. Just understand that they don't understand. You know, they're misapplying other principles.
Honestly, it's a completely different generation. And I say this to my friends, I say this to everyone. I think it's up to us to break the cycle, because it is a massive domino effect. If our parents push all this agenda, this mental agenda onto us, and then we're pushing it onto our kids, like, the cycle's got to stop somewhere. And I feel like it's down to us to actually educate ourselves and our parents and everyone around us to actually come into terms with mental health. Yeah, and the possession thing, that is quite interesting, because even in Tamil culture, in Tamil films, when they talk about crazy people and like media as in films, it's literally just this crazy homeless person, and that's what they think of as like a mental person. But yeah, it's quite interesting. Well, I didn't
address Black males.
Yeah, Aiah and Chike, what do you think? How do you guys find it talking to your friends, talking to the mandem about mental health? Like, what is it like?
To be honest, okay, all right. Times have definitely changed. Because of the integration of social media and just information just being spread around. So I would say right now, things are definitely more accepted amongst the males, and things are understood. Do you know what I mean? But there are some who do have how can I say, they still have that kind of mentality as, you know, mental health being kind of just man up kind of thing. But growing up, you know, I grew up, you know, in people call, you know, rural area, ghetto, but I grew up being taught, do you know what I'm saying? You're a man, big men don't cry. So at the age of 10, 11, you know, the moment I cried and they said they beat me up, or my brothers would beat me up, I say, you're a big man, they say, men don't cry. That in itself just changed my perception of even vulnerability. So now it took years, how can I say, years of actually learning life to realize that it's actually okay to be vulnerable. Yeah. And that really affected my mentality as a man. Do you know what I'm saying? And even the Black community, you know, the men provide, you know, the man is the head of the house kind of thing, or, you know, the man is the man that does this. You have to be a man, be a man, be a man kind of thing. And because that was drilled into me, it made it hard for me to now, when I have come to a realization of, you know, the mental health and everything, like Chike said, it is kind of, we're still transitioning to be able to communicate that to other males, because of the fact that, you know, sometimes, or even now, they still don't really understand it until, like, it's really clear, like, until you've actually experienced it. Because if they haven't experienced it to that degree, or they haven't even had someone close to them or witnessed it in a heavy way, they most likely, from my experiences anyways, I don't know anyone else, but from the people that I've actually spoken to about it, they have just seen it as, it's just something that, you know, you can just say, okay, that's cool, man, but you'll be good, kind of thing, and you can get over it. That's the girls are mental health. Do you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, nah, mental health is for girls, man. Like, that's what girls go through. They go through that depression stuff. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And men don't really want to talk, don't really need to talk about that, because, you know what I'm saying, we can overcome these type of things. So I would say that it has been a bit challenging. But to answer the question, how to break it, I would just echo what everyone says, that education is so key. Education is something that I really, really I'm really grateful for, because with education, you know, perceptions change, and in understanding that, you know, when you give someone a view of something that they've never been able to view before. So even though those people that I've spoken to have been stubborn, I'm still grateful that their mind has been opened a bit to actually see something that they never saw was there. So I feel like, yeah, educating them, just even speaking about it, can really break that stigma.
Yeah. Just in addition, I think the settings has to be right, because
Yeah.
the environment has to be right. Everything just have to. You need to create that environment for them to talk. Do if they're your friends, just do what they know they love. Get them in that space where they're doing something at least you know they love. If they like playing game, you know, be
Yeah.
playing game with them and drop the knowledge right there. Because if it's when it was happening and I was in situation, I felt like I didn't know this person. I don't know who this person is, and trying to get them at the right point where we're all playing video game, we're all chilling, we're all doing something we all find in common, and then breaking the stigma right there and talking about it. I think that's very essential for Black male especially. I haven't tried it on anyone else, but I know, you know, in that situations, in that situation, I was able to get them to communicate what they were feeling, or, you know, what they've been going through. So at that moment, it's almost like they're comfortable enough to be vulnerable, if that makes sense. So I was able to talk to them. So it's about, again, communicating, like you said, Emmanuel, and also getting it at the right setting, making sure that you've planned to get them at the right moment, and not just when it's happening you start, because they won't be listening to you, they won't be hearing you, you know, at that moment where it's going on. It's just about timing it, you know, almost like watching them and seeing or trying to get that settings right.
I think that's really, really good. Just to kind of say that creating that environment where there's an activity, you know, where men are engaged in activity, and then having that, and that is the space then that they can open up without actually really thinking, oh, I'm opening up and being vulnerable. You know, it's not, it doesn't have to be a thing, you know. So I think that works better with men and you know, the more masculine energy where there's an activity going on. So that's really great.